City won the treble, of course they did, and it's all kicking off. Loads of stuff going off last night. Of course, all that breaking news had to happen when I was out at the cinema. I went to Oppenheimer. Good film, by the way. But then I got back, looked out at the cinema, looked out at my phone after walked out the cinema, and I saw that Doku was going on, and Borges to Ajax now, and Gvardiol's closer to happening, all the usual stuff. Of course, it kicked off. So I thought I'd catch up with you guys this morning, chat about it all, because there's lots to talk about in the world of Manchester City. Good morning to anyone joining this live video. No plane tracking today, Tony, or Retro Blue. Yeah, get the aviation channel, watch some private jets flying around. No, unfortunately, I didn't think that was Gvardiol on the plane, sadly, But still, it's sort of proved irrelevant because it looks like it's going to happen anyway. Hello to Bajan Sniper, to Saz. I do know that City won the treble, Saz. Retro Blue, Andy Scott, 4444 Sanji, Michael Taylor, Christian as well. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all good. Please say hello in the chat if you're watching. Please do give this video a like. Help support a lifelong Manchester City fan. Every single little like, every single subscribe does help support. And it's my living, so after all, it's very much appreciated. Yeah, I'm with Christian on this. Gvardiol was basically always going to happen. Never got the panic. I never got it either. Too many people said this was done for me not to worry about this. For me to worry about this. I didn't have to worry about it because people were very, very confident. And today we're going to talk about Gvardiol a little bit. We're going to talk about Jeremy Doku. Michael Olise a tiny bit, of course. Joao Cancelo, a bit of news this morning going around. And of course, as well, Carlos Borges to Ajax. I'll jump over to the breaking news from last night. It came from Jack Gorn, who said that City are attempting to push through a deal for Josko Gvardiol before Sunday's Community Shield against Arsenal. Tuesday brought fresh encouragement of an agreement being reached, with the fee likely to come in at below Leipzig's 86 million valuation. Negotiations between Leipzig and City have Gvardiol have taken a significant step forward over the last 24 hours with the involvement of Red Bull CEO, corporate projects and new investments, Oliver Mintzlaff. I don't know why, but fair enough. This also tallies with what that In the Know told me. If you don't follow him, he's been saying that it's basically been done, and Gvardiol was telling his people that he'll be moving very soon and he wants it done before the Wembley game, which is what Jack's come out and said as well. Fabrizio as well has been saying it will get done. Fabrizio Romano. Let's try and find Fabrizio. He's been big on it this morning as well. Where is he? Where's your man Fabrizio? He says they want to complete every detail by the end of the week. It is absolutely on and advancing. Despite the message 2 weeks ago, I still keep my here we go for Gvardiol City. I'm not changing my position. And I think he's right. I think it is absolutely going to happen. We've got this guy coming through, and he's an absolute wonderful footballer. A wonderful footballer. It is crazy that Fabrizio Romano got community noted. I mean this with the greatest of respect. Do it for important things, for crying out loud. Like, community noted a football transfer rumour is absolutely mental. Do it for politics or things that affect people's lives, you know. Some people would say Gvardiol's transfer does affect your life, and I get that at the same time, you know what I mean? It's big news, but crazy. Well, the internet's gone mad these days, hasn't it? Good morning to everyone else joining in as well. King and Mark and Patrick. I was Patrick as well saying I was looking for Croatians, but all I found was Kovacic and Gvardiol instead of cigarettes and alcohol. I like it, mate. Also, we've Aki and Akanji walk around Gvardiol. It fits into it. Gvardiol fits into that song as well, very nicely. Somewhere anyway. So we're going to get it through. Gvardiol is a massive potential signing. I think he's a world-class potential talent. I believe that he's of a similar level in his position of what Haaland was when we signed him. I think he's a special footballer. I really do. I think he's I think he's really special, and I think he's going to go on to be a world class, genius, elite level centre back. I just have that much belief in him. I think he's such a talented footballer. And yes, I did see Oppenheimer and not Barbie. Nicholas saw Barbie and thought it was a good film. Like, she thought it was a 7 out of 10, but not a great film. She thought it was good, but not great. And I thought Oppenheimer was a great, but not all-timer. Oppenheimer to me was your Samir Nasri's. He was an 8 out of 10. He wasn't a David Silva in Oppenheimer for me. Oppenheimer I thought was brilliant, but it wasn't perfect. I walked out the cinema with Oppenheimer and I was like, that's a cracking film. I enjoyed that, but I didn't love it. I don't know why I didn't love it. I've been thinking about it this morning, but I really enjoyed it for what it's worth. Relentless, chaotic energy for 3 hours of every scene flashing forward and forward and forward and forward. But it didn't quite land some of the things that he wanted to, I don't think. I don't think it landed quite the emotional resonance that he was aiming for. And I felt the mixing, as always, with Christopher Nolan film was a little bit hard to listen to sometimes. Still, I absolutely loved it. I loved it. I thought it was a good film. Like I loved Sami Nasri, but do I think he's the greatest of all time? No. He's not David Silva. It was a Sami Nasri. And nothing wrong with that, you know. Anyway, back to the actual football news, because it all happened when I was at the cinema. So Gvardiol, yeah, I think he's a special talent. It's absolutely going to happen, and I'm buzzing because Gvardiol it's weird because I know we don't need a defender as such, but I would argue that we do. If like Cancelo and Laporte are unhappy and want to go, we need a defender. I know we can turn around and go, we've got them now, but we've got them at like 70%. We haven't got them at 100% because they're clearly not mentally in it. Cancelo will fall out again. He will fall out with Guardiola again, and Laporte clearly is sort of a little bit stroppy, a little bit switched out, and I love Laporte, but I think he's sort of like I would say, like he's sort of kind of he's never fully happy unless he's really, really involved, and I think he just needs a new challenge Laporte. So for me, Laporte, we've got Laporte and Cancelo, but I don't think we have at the same time. So I do think Gvardiol is necessary, and I do think he gives us a different option at left centre back with Nathan Ake, and I think he actually improves the team as well. He's a brilliant defender, like Ake is, but I also think he's much more suiting to the system that Manchester City have right now. He's expressive and creative, and he can play left back a lot better than Ake can. He's basically brilliant. He's brilliant. He's just a brilliant player. David Silva would be Inception. Very possibly, yeah. What's my favourite Christopher Nolan film? I mean, I'm an Interstellar nerd. I bloody love Interstellar. I think it's brilliant. I've had a Christopher Nolan footballer. Do you know what Dunkirk is? Dunkirk's Fernandinho, right? We all agree with that. Great film, like relentless and intense. I'm gonna list Christopher Nolan films now. Dunkirk is definitely Fernandinho. Dark Knight. I mean, Dark Knight is what? I don't know. Yaya Toure. Tenet. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Tenet was a bit confusing, but entertaining. But then Negredo, I think, like great at the time, but then you look back and go, I didn't really love it actually, but great at the time. But then sort of fade out a little bit. I'm just looking at all these films. I'll stop doing this now anyway. Back to the actual football topic. I get caught in my own head with these things. In terms of the actual news as well elsewhere, Jeremy Doku, what do we all reckon of that link? He was randomly linked to Manchester City yesterday. I'm scrolling back to try and find it. He sort of came out of nowhere. Obviously, a really, really talented winger. Oh, there we go. Good tomorrow, by the way, the Leipzig thing. Jeremy Doku, though, an immensely aggressive dribbling winger that I feel like could add an awful lot of, like, basically an awful lot of just like ability and like dribbling and a different kind of taking. And a lot of people have turned around and gone already that the it's currently at Rennes, by the way. He's currently at Rennes, isn't he, over in League One? Yeah. A lot of people have turned around and said, well, he's not a very Manchester City winger currently. He's not Guardiola winger. I don't actually agree with that. Like, I don't think Guardiola has a type of winger. I think he has a current type of winger. But is Guardiola a guy to get, like, kind of like bogged down in one particular idea forever? I don't think he is. Like, Pep likes to change it. And I remember when we had... Look, the counterpoint to Doku would be Riyad Mahrez. Like, we had Sterling and Sane flying wingers, so Guardiola then brought in Mahrez, which was different at the time. Mahrez was a controlled winger. And then, now he's got controlled wingers. I wouldn't be surprised if Guardiola actually reversed it and brought back, as Saz says there, a Sterling-type winger. You know, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he brought in a bit of a change, because it makes sense for Guardiola to look at the squad and go, actually, I do think we need... something a little bit different. Pronounced Ren. There we go. Yeah, sorry. My pronunciation is terrible, Caribbean race. So thank you very much. I thought it was, yeah. Yeah, Ren. Great team. Love him. Loads about him, of course. But Jeremy Doku, he's such a high productive dribbling winger that I feel like he'd have an awful lot to this Manchester City side in terms of a different option. He's only 21 years old and he is raw as anything. He's a very explosive winger, insanely explosive winger. Like, the thing is, people will talk about people like Mabude, which is Matt's just mentioned. Why isn't he got a chance in that instance? What I would say is, look, Mabude is a cracking young talent. I agree, but then, I mean, you look at this. This is a graphic from The Athletic. Doku is the most relentless dribbler in Europe. This is in Europe. Like, Doku is that one, the top there in the corner. So as good as Borges may be one day, this is proven top level for Belgium, for Rennes over in France. Like, in professional football, this is proven effectiveness. I mean, look at that, man. His take on success is like 60%. He attempts about 11 dribbles per 90. It's absolutely astonishing that he's so far ahead of everyone else. You talk about St. Maximin and people like him there. I don't he's on another level, like, in terms of his success rate and the amount. He does about 30% more dribbles per game, and he's about 10-15% more productive in terms of dribbles. Like, so I know it's not everything dribbling, but you can't deny that. You can't deny that this is a player of immense natural ability. And as Freddie said, this is a guy who's in the league with Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi, and he's got the most successful dribbles per 90. It's a really special achievement, that. And he can play on both sides, as well as Ipswich just said in the chat. Basically, he's raw, but he's only 21 years old. And I think Guardiola would enjoy getting in a raw talent who definitely needs to improve, but would come in at a random kind of signing out of nowhere, but we'd have a really explosive different option, and he would just wasn't Doku a Count and Dark Jedi? Yes, he was actually. Yeah, he's a Dark Jedi. He was a Count Doku. But he would be something a little bit different, and I sort of see the appeal to that personally. Like, I feel like every now and then you do need a little bit of variety, and I think he would bring that to them. Then, of course, as well as the Borges news as well. Looks like Borges was going to West Ham, and now Ajax have come in and hijacked it. Like, that's a bit of a mad one. Like, I was chatting to my mate last night. I saw this bit of news as I was walking to the cinema with my mate. He was just an Everton fan, but I was chatting about it. And at the same time, I was thinking, do you know what? I don't blame him. Ajax, I think I would choose Ajax instead of West Ham. And that's absolutely no disrespect whatsoever to West Ham. None whatsoever. It's just, Ajax are Ajax. Do you know what I mean? Would anyone else do that? Like, Ajax are. I know that West Ham are a Premier League side and just won the Europa Conference, but Ajax, they have such an incredible. Like, I would just love as a footballer. I feel like, you know what I can hand on heart say, and this is I'm sorry that this is a bit. This goes against like my massive Burt credentials here, but as a footballer, I would love to be a Manchester City player. But at the same time, I would love to play for other clubs that have that. I would love to. Who are the clubs that you would love to play for? I would love to play for Ajax if I was a professional footballer. I would absolutely love to play for Boca Juniors or River Plate. These clubs that have this just, the shirt is iconic, where you're just like, they are absolutely iconic. Like I would do it. I would to play 10 years at Man City, but I'd also want to move around because Milan, that's a great shout. Just to have the photos of you as an AC Milan kit, Bury FC, Luton. Look, I hate to admit it, I don't want to play for Real Madrid or Barcelona, but if you look back in your career and you've got a photo of you in a Real Madrid shirt, it's like, that's pretty cool, isn't it? You know what I mean? They are iconic teams, and so I understand the appeal. Oldham Athletic, there you go. Like, you want to play for Bury, you want to play for the Shakers or the Owls, But to be honest, I sort of get why Borges would go to Ajax. As Lewis said, they are a massive team. They are Champions League football. They are an absolute guarantee of exposure. Like, if you go to Ajax, and also the league sort of. It's a bit easier for him. It's a chance as a winger to really develop under some of the best coaches in world football. Bayern are there as well, Oscar. I admit it. I understand why Kyle Walker would want to go there. I sometimes wonder, if I was a footballer, would I be the guy who stays there somewhere for 10 years? Or would I collect clubs? Go around every 2-3 years and just played just play at the big clubs if it could do and move around and have that pedigree where you played at all these iconic teams. As Avril just said, Ajax have a sexy feel. They do. As a club, it's just like, you play for Ajax? Oh, mate, that's class. To pull on that red and white shirt, oh, yeah, absolutely. I get the appeal, and I think he'll develop massively there and collect clubs with great kits. Downright minty. Imagine the photos on your wall. Oh, it'd be wonderful. And as Saz said as well, I think it'd be easier for him to go to a top European team after it. I think it's just easier. Like, it's easier to leave Ajax than it is West Ham. I know it sounds crazy, but it sort of is. I get it. So I would be buzzing for Borges if he went to Ajax. He's a top bloke, great footballer, and I think it'd be a fantastic chance for him to develop really refine his skills at Champions League level football at a great club in a league that's also really open for young electric wingers to express themselves and develop. So I hope he goes there. I'd also have to find a way to play for Nigeria. It's true, Avril. I'd have to go back about a billion generations and hope I've got some Nigerian blood in me now. Brazil somehow, yeah. Collect clubs, but collect trophies. Damn right. Like, what's the ultimate career? Like, for me, if we're talking about the ultimate career, like, you start, like, it culminates in Man City, by the way, for me. So you start at Ajax, right? And then you get a really cool move for a year to, like, AC Milan or something like that. You get to wear the AC Milan shirt. Juventus or something. That'd be pretty cool as well. You get to wear that. And then you move over to... I'm trying to think of the ways you move around. Even, like, Dortmund shirt's pretty cool. You know, you get to wear the yellow and black of Dortmund. I don't know. Then you switch over to... You go to Madrid... Real Madrid for a year and you wear the classic white, but then you think, do you know what? I'm going to Manchester City Football Club. Then after that, you go, I'm going to go to Argentina. I'm going to go play in Argentina. Also, Gremio over in Brazil. I know Gremio's kit really clearly as well. Oh, that's a good one. Avril saying Ajax, Fiorentina, Dortmund, Madrid, City, Brazil. That's a hell of a career, that. Cool shirts. I might tweet this afterwards, actually. But either way, Borges, I wish him loads of luck. What other news was going around? Borges, good for him. Simon Bukowski there also confirming that City need wide or wide wingers, or a winger or a midfield. I think that's pretty much true. I broke down the squad yesterday, and you could sort of see that we do need that. Like, let me just find my tweets from yesterday. When you see the squad here, where is it? This is the squad yesterday I broke down. I missed out Peroni, by the way, on this, but I presume he's going on loan anyway. And I did it this way, where I put people who can sort of play two roles, because I wanted to show that we have got more defenders than just these guys here, technically, but they're also going to be used as midfielders. And they could also be there, couldn't they, with Gomez? But then you realise quickly that you need a winger. And you could turn around and go, well, Bernardo and Foden could go as a winger. But then all of a sudden, you're getting rid of your pool of midfielders. And you start to feel like, do you know what? We are going to need a defender if Walker goes. You can tell Gvardiol's coming in. That'd be fine. You can probably get away with that. But then you look at it and go, we sort of do need an experienced winger. If you added Mahrez onto this list here, you got Mahrez, then you go, that looks actually all right now. If you had Doku there and you had Gvardiol there, Gvardiol is there. Doku also needs, like, it's a bit more balance, you know. But you still, it is only a smaller squad still, isn't it? It is only a smaller squad still. So you're looking, thinking we do need some. But guys, just a quick update. I need to go and head into Manchester and run some errands now. I'll catch you later for another video, no doubt. And for now, let me know your thoughts on Gvardiol, Doku, and Carlos Borges. In a bit, love you all loads. Bye bye.